The CEO was alone on Christmas, until Triplet girls left him a letter that changed everything. The snow fell silently outside the floor-to-ceiling windows of the penthouse, each flake a tiny messenger of the world's joy that Marcus Wellington couldn't seem to touch. Christmas Eve had arrived with all its glittering promises. Yet here he sat in his leather chair, surrounded by the trappings of success that suddenly felt as cold as the winter air pressing against the glass. The city below sparkled with a million lights. Families gathered in warm embraces, children squealing with anticipation, while he remained 40 stories above it all, utterly and completely alone. If this story touches your heart, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, and subscribe to Kindness Pulse for more stories that remind us what truly matters. Marcus poured himself another scotch, the amber liquid catching the light from the Christmas tree his assistant had insisted on setting up. The doorbell's chime startled him. Who would possibly be visiting on Christmas Eve? Making his way to the door, Marcus pulled it open to find the hallway empty. But there, on his marble floor, sat a red envelope with his name written in 3 distinctly different handwriting styles. Inside, he found a letter on lined notebook paper. "Dear Mr. Wellington," it began. "We are Emma, Sophie, and Grace, and we are 7 years old. We live in apartment 3B downstairs with our mom. We don't have a dad, he's in heaven now. We're writing because we see you sometimes in the elevator and you always look so sad. And our mom says that being rich doesn't mean you're not lonely, and nobody should be lonely at Christmas." The letter explained that they'd noticed he was always alone, that his light stayed on late into the night, that he never seemed to laugh. They'd drawn pictures at the bottom, 3 stick figures holding hands with a taller figure under a star. "We wanted to invite you to have Christmas dinner with us tomorrow. We know we can't give you fancy food and our apartment is really small, but our mom makes really good mashed potatoes and we always laugh a lot. Our mom says the best gift is people who care about you. Please come if you want. We're in 3B, dinner is at 5. Marcus read the letter 3 times. When was the last time anyone had truly seen him? Not as a CEO, but as a human being who might be hurting. These children, who had every reason to focus on their own loss, had found space to worry about a stranger. They'd offered him something his billions couldn't buy, genuine human warmth. He began making calls. Within an hour, a delivery service would bring a Christmas feast to apartment 3B. But that wasn't enough. He called his daughter, leaving a message. "Sarah, it's Dad. I'm sorry for all the times I wasn't there. I want to try to do better. I love you. Merry Christmas, sweetheart." Tears streamed down his face for the first time in years. Christmas Day arrived. Marcus stood outside apartment 3B at 4:45 p.m., dressed in jeans and a sweater, holding chocolates from a corner store. The door flew open and 3 identical faces beamed at him. "You came!" They shrieked, wrapping their arms around his waist. Behind them stood Rachel, their mother, smiling warmly. "Please come in." The apartment radiated warmth his penthouse had never known. Paper snowflakes covered windows, popcorn strings draped doorways, construction paper chains stretched across the ceiling. The girls pulled him to the small table, chattering excitedly. Marcus found himself laughing, actually laughing for the first time in months. Dinner was chaotic and perfect. The girls provided hilarious commentary on every dish. Marcus shared stories from his childhood and talked about his daughter, his regrets, the life he'd built that had become a prison. "I think you forgot that people are more important than work," Sophie said seriously. "Our dad used to say you don't remember days at the office. You remember days with people you love." After dinner, they played board games on the floor, drank hot chocolate with too many marshmallows, and sang Christmas carols badly but gloriously. Grace climbed into his lap with casual trust, and Marcus felt his heart expand in ways he hadn't known possible. Before we reach the end, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Kindness Pulse so you never miss stories that warm the heart. "Thank you," Marcus said, voice thick with emotion. "You've reminded me what matters most." Rachel squeezed his hand. Everyone deserves to belong. That night his phone buzzed. Sarah had texted, "Dad, maybe we could have coffee next week?" He replied immediately, "I would love that more than anything." The triplets had given him back his humanity, reminded him that connection matters more than achievement. Sometimes the greatest gifts come in the smallest packages, a letter in crayon, an invitation from children who barely knew him. That Christmas, Marcus learned that true wealth isn't measured in bank accounts but in people who see you and care. The greatest gift we can give is kindness. Share this story if it touched your heart, and remember, you never know whose life you might change with simple compassion.